Alabama's off to a pretty good start recruiting, but what does it matter anymore? I mean, do you still think that high school recruiting is important? We're going to talk about that here on the show. Also, Bama basketball down on the plains, Neville Arena. Shocker. Got him again down there. Big win on Saturday. I know this guy loves that. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. You got the table games and slots, not far at all, and a lot of fun. I know you guys are going to enjoy the show, but we appreciate them for being a part of it. Let's get this thing started. All right, there he is, Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillespie. Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you too, buddy. Been a while. Had a huge week last week.
I know. I forgot that we actually got a show in while I was in the Keys. The coldest day of the year in the Keys. That's what I went down there. But I guess it was way chillier. It's like 76 today. I'm in Birmingham doing this, and we would have died for 76 last week.
Would have died for 76. Oh,
yeah,
and
it was like 60s. It was like 60s in the Keys.
Man, I'm ready now. Now that deer season's pretty much over.
Look, let me put you. Just hold it right there. Look at that, a monster buck, and once again, there you are with your scared kids. Come here, kids. Let's all gather around this.
Hey, they were fired up. They'll have a gun in their hands here in a few years. I'll be on top of the world.
Well, let's start with that because I know a lot of people that watch the show are hunters. I've never killed a deer like that. I was a deer hunter in college. Grew up in a family that deer hunts. That's a huge rack right there.
Yeah.
What did that score?
Huh?
What did that?
I didn't score that one because I never killed one with split G2s like that. So
Okay.
I really don't know how you score the splits like that. And his left side's a little jacked up too. If both sides look like his right side, he'd be in the 150s. But with that left side, I think he might be high 140s. And I don't know how you score that split, or the two splits.
Still impressive. Is he going to the taxidermy?
Dropped him off yesterday. met my guy in the Chick-fil-A parking lot on Dolphin Street.
Yeah. So was your heart pounding when you saw him?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I've had that deer on camera for 2 years. Been trying to chase him down for 2 years, and to finally see him in person, man, I had him pretty well mapped out. I had 3 cameras, saw him every day pretty much, and it just, you gotta just get lucky with the timing and where you're sitting. Depending on where he was bedding up each day, you just had to hit it, get him between the food and the bed.
So I guess it's like hunting's a lot different now than when I used to do it, because you just would look for tracks and stuff. Now you just got cameras and so you triangulate on them.
That's what, I start. So I mean, look, growing up, that's what we did. No cameras. I remember when the first camera came out and you had the film roll, it had 24, you got 24 pictures, and it had the real flash, not the infrared either. So, the deer were like, whoa, like, what the hell is that? I guess they thought it was lightning.
What's going on around here?
Yeah. But, times have changed. And that's what we used to do. You used to think, look for a big track, rubs, all that, which, still look for rubs and scrapes and all that. But the cameras have changed everything. And, I hadn't shot I've taken somebody to shoot a buck in the last 2 years, but I run a lot of cameras, and if there's one buck out there that really gets me excited, I'm hunting him, and so try not to I kind of let a lot of bucks walk, but he
Right. Yeah. So how does he rank as far as your all-time record, Buck?
He's number 3.
Okay.
3 or 4. In terms of just size-wise, killed a big one. Those pictures I sent you, I've lost a picture of my biggest buck, but that was 10 years ago, 8 years ago. But yeah, my family loves it. My wife's family, they love it. It's, it's more so like just being at the camp, cooking out, watching football, watching, basketball this time of year. It was awesome to see. I got him Saturday morning, so it was pretty cool. I mean, if I hadn't, I'd have missed the Alabama basketball game, but because I'd have been chasing him. But got it done and watched that Alabama basketball game. Grilled out later. It's being around a camp in the woods, the kids can run around. You can just let them have at it. So it's hard to beat a weekend like that.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Well, cool, man. Well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. That was a good time.
Yeah, big day for you. And obviously your family's very proud of you and excited.
Yeah.
Kids can't contain themselves like Christmas.
And then last week, I went out to Vegas. My older brother is he's stationed.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, he's stationed.
Can you pull the video up?
No, I can't.
You can't show any of that. Okay.
Yeah, can't show the videos, but
that's badass.
Yeah, man, it was his last A-10 flight as he transitions to a different plane, and being on that range, watching him shoot that gun, drop bombs. I wouldn't want to be fighting a fleet of A-10s. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We were standing out there expecting him to come to a flyover to let us know he was there.
Yeah.
And you got to be a certain distance away from where the bombs detonate. Obviously you're not right, obviously not bombing right on top of you.
So those were real bombs and stuff?
Oh yeah, it was a range day. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're sitting there just waiting for him and his wingman to show up and all that. Just sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, boom! It was like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, right.
Holy hell! And you're looking around, looking for him, and my knowledge of the A-10 is, and Patrick's taught me a lot. I'm not a plane guy, but I mean, he's been obsessed with it since he was little. Is that the A-10's low, which we saw it really low. I mean, I felt like I could throw a rock at it as it was flying by. Sometimes it was so cool. But my knowledge is that they're always really low. Well, that bomb went off, look up, and you just saw like a speck in the sky, and then all of a sudden, I mean, he got from there to right on the target area like that. I mean,
really?
just crazy. The closing speed, the capability made me feel a lot safer to be living in this country. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to him too. That's pretty awesome. So what plane's he going to next?
I think the F-15.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Delta.
F-15?
Or American or Southwest Airlines.
He'll probably end up doing some of that. Some of his two of the guys
make
there,
all the money.
Two of the guys there. One was flying Delta. His friends from Air Force Academy, and then some of his wingmen were already transitioning into that. One's flying United, one Delta. So I think that's a pretty good transition. I was like, so how do you go from flying this A-10, to flying a bus?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's just
that's right here, cash.
He had flown for 10 years, and
cash, man. They pay.
What's that?
They
oh,
pay.
Yeah. Well, you were buffering. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. Well, no, I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like playing football to going into insurance. I mean, it's a different,
That's a good comp right there.
different mindset involved. Yeah.
Oh,
But
cool,
no,
man.
man,
You got a lot of cool stuff going on.
oh yeah. Now back to the real world.
Yeah, back to the grind.
But yeah, man, it was so cool. No, I loved it. I loved it. Big week, and also spent some time with Ryan Grubb last week, talking to those guys and kind of getting them an understanding of where we are. And I know one thing, they're really excited. I mean, they're excited about the high school class coming in, but two of the big ones, the running back out of Jackson, Ezavier Crowell, and then Cederian Morgan. He told me Cederian Morgan. I mean, I was asking about Ryan Williams and just the philosophy on recruiting and all that, and we got to some of the recruits and Crowell. He's fired up about Crowell because he's just like that mindset that he's got is it's just so advanced for a young guy to have the ability to say, hey, the confidence to say, I can understand I may sit for a year, but I'll eventually be that guy and make my mark on Alabama, which he's got the talent. With a guy like Crowell, it comes down to maturity and how he goes throughout his career off the field, to be honest with you. I mean, is he going to be a handful off the field, or is he going to be the guy that shows up, works, and is focused on football? And if that happens, he's going to be, he's going to be carrying the rock a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, they're looking for answers in that department.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think we've done a really good job recruiting high school players. The problem nowadays, as we've talked about, is holding on to them. But the only way you hold on to them, if you don't have the money that the Texases and all these other schools have, is bringing in guys that can play early. Try to lock them down with playing time early. Show them that experience at Alabama while you play, because I don't know if there's another. I don't think there's another school out there that compares in terms of just the electricity in that stadium, the atmosphere on and off the field, all those things that come with it. Of course, it gets pretty rough when you don't play well and you lose, but when you're winning at Alabama, there's no better atmosphere around or in the country.
Yeah.
But Cederian Morgan was another guy he brought up. Maybe I asked about him, but either way, it was one of those where we were going to eventually talk about him because his eyes lit up as soon as his name came up. And I think he's going to be a huge asset to that room, and he's going to be one of the main targets when you look at replacing Horton and Bernard and those two guys. To have him and Ryan, I mean, Cederian Morgan, I think he measured – Ryan Grubb was telling me he measured in at is either 6'4", 238 or 6'4", 228.
Right.
Which, I mean, as an incoming freshman, that's insane. I mean, 6'4", 230, even if it's the lesser, 6'4", 230, and running that fast. The problem that I saw with Ryan in his first year, and again, y'all, if you've listened to this podcast, you know how high I am on Ryan. But the one thing he had to, hone in or get better at, I don't know if you even want to say that, but he had to gain weight and get a lot stronger because he had some trouble getting off the ball versus man coverage, tight coverage, any kind of press. He seemed to have a hard time getting off the ball, and it kind of disrupted the timing between quarterback and receiver. Cederian Morgan coming in at 6'4", 228. I mean, if he's got the instincts that Ryan had year one, and finding ways to get open and getting off the ball. I mean, Ryan, the instincts were there. It was just the physicality. 6'4", 238, man. You're going to be bigger than just about everybody guarding you, and the guys that are big enough are going to have a hard time keeping up with you. So, I mean, I think that's about. He might even be bigger. I think Isaiah Horton was what, 6'3", 6'4", 220. I mean, he may already be bigger than Isaiah Horton. But and I've heard guys on the field now at Alabama saying that watching him in practice was like watching a guy who's already played a year and who gets the ball a lot.
Really?
It's a lot of touches. So that's a name I'm really excited about.
Yeah. What kind of brings up what I was talking about at the beginning was high school recruiting compared to the transfer portal. So this is the rankings for the upcoming recruiting class 27. There's Bama at number 8. So Ohio State, they spend a ton of money on it. Georgia's second, probably in the same NIL money area that we are, right? Oklahoma, Texas A&M,
Georgia and Oklahoma. Georgia, Oklahoma are probably the only two that are comparable to us NIL wise. I mean, Ohio State, Texas Tech, A&M, Notre Dame. I would think Nebraska is probably piling the money on too.
Yeah, well, the teams
trying
that
to
haven't
get back
won
to where they were.
Right, they're going to spend the money for it. But do you think that it's as important? I mean, it's because we lose so many guys to the transfer portal, a lot of depth guys. It just feels like you're wasting assets trying to train people that aren't even going to be there to help you.
Well, I think you've just got to. I mean, you've got to do your best, right? I mean, especially when you're not in the game of picking guys off like Ohio State is. I mean, you got to take your shot, with high school guys. I mean, I think there's. I think you're probably going to lose at the end of the day. I don't know. How many have we lost in each recruiting class? You got to take out Coach Saban's year because it was an excessive amount. But, I mean, I would imagine the fair number to say is you're probably going to lose 50% of those guys.
Yeah.
25% of those guys you probably wanted to lose anyway, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, 25 – I say that. 50% of the guys you lose are probably guys that – weren't going to make it anyway, guys that probably need to move on. And then 50% of those, the other 50% is probably guys getting picked off. When you're at Alabama, the guys getting picked off by other schools.
Yeah.
So, again, that's why I say it's so important. You got to get – and there will be some diamonds in the rough that play early too. I feel like there always is. But you got to keep those Alabama guys – more importantly than ever, I think you have to focus on those guys who have a local contingent or somewhat of just a draw to Alabama outside of, hey, it's Alabama and they're paying me money to go there, so I'm going to see how it goes. Good system. Yeah. You got to get less of the business decision type guys and more of the local talent. Guys that $100,000 isn't going to change their opinion of where they lie in terms of their progress at Alabama or their love for Alabama. Clay Travis made a really good point. He made a really good point about these transfers. You're seeing a lot of these transfers leave for like $100,000. I mean, when look, $100,000, that's a lot of money. That's a good bit of money when you're that age. But when you sit back and you think about it, I mean, that is nothing in comparison to, really getting involved at the school you're at, making connections, meeting people, being respectful to alumni and building those relationships long term so that I mean, first off, it's just the right thing to do, and second off, it's really building you up for your future. And $100,000 when you're 35 and may have played in the NFL 1 or 2 years is nowhere near the worth that getting to know all these alumni and becoming, a fabric of that environment. It doesn't equal that amount if you really buy in and do it the right way. 10 years from now, if you've got high goals and you're wanting to do well after college, which should be the mindset of every kid that's playing football at Alabama.
Right.
Nothing's ever guaranteed, obviously, and even if you are going to the NFL, I mean, the chances of going in the first 2 rounds pretty slim. Chances of playing for 10 years is really slim too. I don't care what school you're looking at. Ohio State, Texas, all of them. I mean, some of the best players I've played with, sometimes didn't go to the NFL or lasted, 2 or 3 years.
What would you? Well, let me ask you this: what would you do in these situations where, say, you had the year you had at Alabama, but you had another year of eligibility, and we were in the market that we were in right now? So you could have gone to the NFL. Like you would have probably been about Ty Simpson's spot, right? Like same. I mean, you actually had statistically. I'd say about the same season, maybe.
I wouldn't make those comparisons. What I would just make a hypothetical. I mean, if I'm Ty Simpson, I mean, again, it's.
Would you stay? Would you go? Would you transfer for the $6.5 million, or you go to the NFL? And you're right. Yeah, let's just pretend we're Ty Simpson. But you played quarterback. And if you would have had that extra year of eligibility, I mean,
the thing about $6 million, of course, you're getting $3 million after taxes.
That's a lot of deer hunts, though.
Yeah, I'm just doing
a lot of green fields.
I mean, I'm just doing the math on that. I mean, that's a return of almost $200,000 a year on $3 million. It's pretty strong, if you don't touch it. Yeah. But you got to manage it the right way. I mean, that'd be a long conversation, Yeah. That'd be a long conversation.
I'm really surprised, and I guess, okay, so I think that I would probably take the money. Just because you could still go to the NFL the next year, right? So you could get $6.5 million, and then, like you said, tax is going to eat up some of that. But and I love Alabama. I mean, look, I just hope they would pay the 6.5, and you could stay at Alabama and have the $6.5 million. But I get it with him. It's like, the competition for that spot, which is the most coveted spot in football, that quarterback spot, starting quarterback, is going to be, as far as draftable QBs, that the field is definitely limited. You talk about where it is now and what it could be.
Yeah.
If the situation was different, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think I would take the money and stay in college another year. Because you're not going to get that kind of money in the NFL if you're not the first guy. I mean, he could be late first round, right? I don't expect him to be like first guy off the board or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on where you start, right? I mean, if I'm making $1 million at Alabama, I'm taking post taxes again. You're again. I mean, I guess I would say, hey, if you can make me, I don't know, $1 million, $1.5 million more after taxes, then that's when I'm starting to think about it.
Do you think that anybody in college football, when they were doing the handshakes, was making $1 million?
No, I don't think so.
So they're making way more money now.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You listen to Johnny Manziel, sounds like he was.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he, you know.
Well, you got to watch what you say, Johnny, because you don't want to pay taxes on that. Watch it. This guy will tell you right here. He's on that tax stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you, man. I'm really happy for Ty. I really am. Like, guy hung around for a long time to get his opportunity, and I thought he did a good job up until he got hurt. And I still think he did a good job this year. And I wish him nothing but the best. I would have hated it, though, as an Alabama fan, if he would have transferred to, like, Miami or something. You know? That would have sucked.
Yeah, I know. That would be you definitely feel like a sellout, but that amount of money, it's kind of a different – it's a tolerable type sellout, and I think people understand. But it is still just weird because college is still – you love the school you go to. It's, it shouldn't just be about the money, but when you're talking huge differentials, it's kind of hypocritical to sit there and say, well, he sold out.
Look, isn't that – but, this is what you go to school for, is to make money. Let me remind you, I know that it doesn't feel like college football has anything to do with college anymore, like actually going to class and getting a degree and having a life after being on the football field. Like, that doesn't seem like it's even that important anymore. I think that was why Coach Saban retired. That's a shame, and I think you alluded to that, because not everybody's going to make it. And even $3 million, you can blow through that like pretty fast.
Well, I think Coach Saban retired, because where he was in his career, and he knew what type of a shit show this was going to be until they get it under control. You just, with no structure in these compensation plans or contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the nightmares these coaches are dealing with too, just trying to help these players not blow through their money at that age.
Yeah.
These guys are 18, 19, 20. I would have had no idea. My parents would have had to help me out, and I would have just never seen the money,
I think knowing you, though, as well as I do now, I got a feeling that you would have done just fine with the money.
I would.
You would have handled it great.
Back then I wouldn't have known, who to give it to or how it should be managed or anything like that. But I'm cheap as hell, man. I do not like spending money. There's a few things I enjoy, but just a few things that are nice. Enjoy those things and not go crazy with it. But yeah, you're not going to see me with a bunch of jewelry. That's for sure. It's got to have it's got to be useful in some way.
So you're saying you wouldn't have got grills?
Yeah. I hate shit that you just look at. I hate it.
I don't mean grills like, like a grill, like a.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
The teeth. I see you like dressed up like Mr. T.
That's
so
what my wife will say stuff about, like a painting or something. I'm like, nah, let's get something that you can actually use. That's,
Well, that stuff has value. when I was in the Keys, there's some really good art shops there, and
yeah, you're more artistic.
Those paintings. You know that, but and I was having this debate with my buddy Dave. I was like, "Look, man, you're saying the same thing," and I'm like, "A lot of this is like investments, it's just another form of an investment, right? Like the Daniel Moore prints. Think about it. Some of those Daniel Moore prints are, are hard to get, and they're worth stuff, and and they're expensive. They're not the same price that you paid when you got them. Hey guys, before I do anything else, I got to tell you, it's great to be back on here and hanging out with you guys again. And I want to tell you how we do that, and that's with our partners at Patriot Roofing and Builders. Man, these guys got you covered. Whether you're talking about Will or Justin doing your roofing, your siding, your gutters, your windows, full home renovations, you get free inspections. You call those guys and they're going to answer. Will and Justin have you covered, man. Coker and I both had work done on our houses in the last year, and having someone reliable, someone that you can count on, that is going to say what they're going to do and deliver, is super important. And it's not just because you want your house to look good. It's also that you don't want them to drive you crazy. You want people you can count on, and that's Will and Justin. So you guys check them out. Birmingham, Tuscaloosa area, 205-919-4494. And they're also big Alabama fans and hang out with us right here on the show. What's up, buddy?
I forgot we've got Bediako back for the rest of the season.
I'm going there. So explain this to me. Alabama fans are, I think they're glad that he's there, but they're also divided on whether they think he really should be there. Because, he went to the G League and he played in the NBA, the minor league for the NBA, and now he's coming back and he's in college. How did they get it to where he's eligible?
Well, all the court proceedings, from my understanding, took place in Tuscaloosa, so that helps. I mean, when I sit back and I think about it, or it's not like I'm a lawyer. I don't understand all of this stuff, but at first I was like, man, this is kind of crazy. What are we doing here? And I still think it's weird, but when you sit back and you look at the NCAA rules and people are talking about how you're taking away an opportunity from a high school kid, I mean, they're doing the same thing with these European guys. Had Bediako, and look, he left college, but he's still within his eligibility window. Mm-hmm. He left college and he made his decision, but he's still from Canada. And he played in some, I believe the rules apply the same way in Canada that they do in Europe. But if he comes out of high school, let's say he is from Europe. I mean, he's from a foreign country either way. Mm-hmm. Which this is another the NCAA is just full of shit. It's all about providing opportunities to high school kids and all that, But they allow these Europeans to go play in European leagues and then come to the States and they're eligible to play high school basketball. So, I mean, the difference to me is very little outside of the fact that Charles Bediako played in college, went to the G League for a few years, and now he's back. I mean, that's really the only differential I see in him versus a European player. I just right. There's so much gray area with the NCAA rules, and there's no telling why that is. But a European guy coming over after playing professional basketball, I mean, he's taking a slot away from a high school kid too.
Right.
So I don't really understand how I've seen that argument all over the place, and that's a garbage argument. I mean, it's kind of like, a kid growing up in Alabama and he wants to play receiver at Alabama, and you get a guy in the transfer portal to come play receiver, and then he can't play at Alabama anymore. I mean, it just is what it is. I grew up wanting to go to Alabama when I was young, and the first thing Coach Pruitt told me was that they had enough quarterbacks and they weren't taking one. And so, I immediately think it's over, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit, and, end up at Florida State. And that had a lot to do with it, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Nothing's perfect, but the NCAA could be a little better at setting the rules in the first place. But they want to create all these bullshit rules, and then they can't, there's too many loopholes and too much gray area, and then they want to point at Alabama for fighting for eligibility when there is kind of some wiggle room there in that rule, in my opinion. So,
well, there was. He wouldn't be playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, at this point, who gives a damn? Like, you want to make a rule that's a little more transparent, that makes more sense with less loopholes, and then maybe we'll all get on board. But I'm just anytime the NCAA comes out with some argument, I almost always want to go against them. Just off principle.
Well, I wish there was some kind of guidelines here, but you know what? He played a good game against Auburn. I checked into my hotel, and the guy was like, "You guys got a pro on your team." I'm like, I mean, they're all pros now.
And he's still within his eligibility window, I believe. And the whole pro thing, I think he's definitely gotten better since he was in the league. But I mean, LeBaron Philon right now, is a better pro prospect, and he's never been in the league, obviously in his career. So right. I hate that argument too.
Yeah. Yep. Really interesting, to say the least. But Bama wins.
Either way, what I'll say though is I think everybody that watched Alabama consistently while Bediako was at Alabama never thought he should have left. I mean, that was
no.
It made zero sense. I don't know who got in his ear, but and I, now that he's gone to the G League and come back, I would imagine his NBA aspirations are probably far less than they used to be. I don't know if they'll give him a second shot, but he's still within his eligibility window, and he would be playing at Alabama if he never left. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of done with it. I'm looking forward to us, playing Wednesday night against Ole Miss. It's over and done with,
Yeah. Yep. What'd you think of the game?
Man, that was awesome, wasn't it? Love going in there, and it was funny. I was, they were asking Nate Oates about Aiden Holloway getting booed, and he was like, "Well, I think Charles came in and supported him a lot in that arena or something like that."
Yeah.
Auburn had a lot of people to boo.
Yeah, they did. What a great win.
I was talking about that Saturday, though. Man, Alabama was a far better fit for him. I mean, he wasn't a guy at Auburn. I just didn't think that system was set up for him. But man, he's come in and made some plays for us. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, good win for the Tide, and man, I'm telling you, it's like going to be fun having a little basketball to cheer about, right? Because it feels like this team, after they got their heads beat in by Florida, is like kind of starting to turn it around. They beat Texas A&M, they beat Auburn down there. Like now, they know Bediako is going to be there, so now it's time to get focused.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like this team's coming together a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to say, in 2023, the Final Four team. I mean, I thought that team was going to be I thought they were going to tank in the NCAA tournament. But basketball, you never know, man. Teams find their groove. All of a sudden, they're dangerous, and I hope that's the way this team is. Because I mean, we still aren't playing. The first half of that Auburn game was awful. I mean, I think we had 9, 10, 11 turnovers in the first half, and Auburn had a ton of points off turnovers. I don't think they turned it over once. And, I mean, just sloppy as hell, but, found a way to win. That's what good teams do. Just got to get cleaner.
Yep. That'll be a lot of fun seeing what's going on there on that front. So, look, I think we did a lot today, but one thing we didn't do is tell everyone about our friends at the Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Yeah, Keith's fired up about this basketball team. Ready for some football. He's got you covered down there. It's right in the most beautiful part of the state of Maryland, the Ocean City Coast, right? The OC, they call it. What awesome place. Boardwalk down there. You got a lot of great seafood restaurants, Secrets Bar. We're working on going there this summer in August for a little fun. And the fishing tournament that they have, it really is an awesome place. I'm kind of excited about going, but you guys go as well. Check it out. Awesome place to vacation, even this time of year. You know, it's like it's a little chilly, but the views are still awesome. You know, and you're kind of opposite of tourist season, so take advantage of it and tell Keith that we sent you.
Roll Tide.
All right, Roll Tide. All right. Hey, we are also presented by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. You and I got to get back over there again. It's almost time for a remote.
Yeah, it's been too long. We need to get the crew back together. Bo and Steve and Walter, everybody. Maybe shoot a commercial in one day instead of 4.
It's a little bit chilly outside. It's not chilly inside. Silver Star, Gold Moon Casino, both of them. There's a skywalk that's got one of those escalators. What do they call the walking escalator thing?
The spacewalk?
Yeah, spacewalk, whatever it is. It's fantastic. And then you get in there, you got the sports book, the Timeout Sports Lounge. You like steak. And then you're talking about Philip M. Steakhouse, which is where we always seem to hang out. And I feel like this sometimes the next day. Shout out to the Elks and a great Super Bowl party. Anyway, look, Mom and Them's Restaurant, Center Bar, table games, and I'm talking about a great slot setup as well. I was talking to a friend today, and they were saying, "Hey, I love playing the roulette. Hey, you can do it all. Pearl River Resort. It's a short drive from Tuscaloosa, an hour and a half. 2 and change from Birmingham. So you guys check it out. All right, Jake. Roll Tide, my friend.
Roll Tide.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve.
Hey, Jake. You ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom, Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.